Activists accuse BLM leader Shalomolia Bowers of stealing $10 million, according to a lawsuit. The new leader of the National Black Lives Matter nonprofit siphoned more than $10 million in fees from donors to pay his consulting firm, according to a lawsuit. But the BLM leader, Bowers, told the Post that the case against him is nothing more than a power grab by disgruntled activists trying to wrestle control of the movement. Bowers, who became head of the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation in April, is accused of paying the cash to his own, Bowers consulting firm, and diverting resources from a new group called Black Lives Matter Grassroots Incorporated. BLM Grassroots was launched 3 months ago, records show, and it claims to represent BLM chapters across the country. The new group was founded in California in May by Walter Mosley, the lawyer who also drafted the lawsuit against Bowers, according to court papers. Mosley formerly represented Black China in a lawsuit against Kim Kardashian in 2018. Mr. Bowers decided he could not let go of his personal piggy bank, BLM Grassroots charged in the lawsuit filed Thursday in the Los Angeles Superior Court. Instead, he continued to betray the public trust by self-dealing and breaching his fiduciary duties. Instead of using the donations for its intended purposes, Mr. Bowers diverted these donations to his own coffers and intentionally took calculated steps to prevent those same resources from being used by BLM for on-the-ground movement work. BLM Global Network Foundation paid the Bowers consulting firm $2,167,894 in 2021, according to federal tax filings. Bowers dismissed the lawsuit against him Saturday, telling the Post it's a power move by someone hell-bent on achieving power and control of the movement. He said a group of activists headed by California State University Pan-African Studies professor Malina Abdullah is trying to wrestle power away from the foundation's current board of directors. Abdullah is described in court papers as having been engaged in intuitive protest simultaneous to the online activism of the three co-founders of BLM. It's unclear what intuitive protest means. Abdullah could not be reached. It's the most insane thing I've read in a court pleading, and is signed under penalty of perjury when they know it's a lie, Bowers said, adding that the foundation has recently undergone audits that do not show $10 million going to him or his firm. We are in the process of correcting things, of fixing things, and dealing with disgruntled people who want to take over the group, he added. Bowers said the new board did not include Abdullah in the reorganization of the foundation. So the foundation was rocked by controversy after the Post revealed in April 2021 that one of its founders, Patrice Cullors, went on a real estate buying spree, spending more than $3 million on homes in Los Angeles and outside Atlanta. Cullors denied that the money came from donations. But Cullors resigned from the foundation a month after the Post article, and later, New York Magazine revealed the group secretly spent $6 million on a sprawling mansion in Los Angeles to use as its headquarters, and another $8 million on a property in Toronto. And like the biggest thing to really like take away from this, right? Like who knows, right? I don't know if this guy is trying to be better as like a better head of the organization. The problem is the organization itself has basically already been tainted, right? Due to the past situations, like with the colors lady, right? Because when you basically have someone, right, that one of the founders of the actual organization, Patrice Cullors, like basically did not use the funds the way that it was meant to be used for, right? and literally spent millions upon millions of dollars on real estate instead of using that money to actually help people in the black community. You can see how this is like a really big issue, right? Because you have a lot of people that either are part of the black community, support the black community, or feel guilty and they donate money, right? And to find out that, like, oh yeah, all the money that you've been donating, yeah, we've been basically siphoning it to our piggy banks or to real estate deals. Like, that's an issue, right? So, regardless if he's basically being a good guy or not, because again, I don't know the situation, we'll probably find out later. The problem is the organization itself, right? BLM itself, due to the actions of literally just the founder, one of the founders, right, has already tainted whatever that organization is in bed with, right? Even if the foundation or the organization were to actually do something great or something nice, right? Or to really help the black community, even if it were to do that, it's still been tainted in the eyes of so many people, and even in the eyes of people that did support them, right? Because the worst type of thing is to get someone that did support you and now are very against you because you basically screwed them over, right? Like, that's a really bad situation to be in, right? Like, it's one thing to have people who like never liked you and they're not going to show support for you, or like they already are judgmental about you. Like, that's one thing, but for people to actually have believed in you, supported you, gave you money, and then you basically like backhand them, do you really think that they're going to want to support you anymore, regardless of who's the new head? Like, it's something to really think about, right? Because just changing or reorganizing something might be too late. Like a good example of this, right? If you stumble upon this episode, is CNN. I think what CNN is doing right now, where they are trying to reorganize all these talking heads, like basically firing almost all of them because they're so one sided, is a good thing. It might be the only thing that ends up saving CNN long term, right? But has the damage already been done by all of those people, by CNN, to where now the image of CNN, right, the viewpoint of CNN in terms of like their reputation, are they credible, all that kind of stuff, right, has already been so tainted that even if they were to go to the extremes of basically firing every single person and getting new people, would that even be enough anymore, right? Has it been too much time or too much damage done within a certain amount of time to where you can't recover from that anymore? Like, I don't know, right? But it might be the case, right? CNN might end up just going away after the next 10 years. BOM, the organization, may go away after the next 10 years, right? Even though they both have like crazy amounts of money, the reputations of the organizations have been really destroyed, right? So feel free to give your thoughts, your personal viewpoints on this. Do you think that they did siphon this money, or he siphoned this money, or not? Right? I mean, if he's just like a really highly paid consultant leader or whatever, I guess that's one thing. But if he is siphoning the money and the money's supposed to be used for a different purpose, that's not okay. But feel free to give your thoughts. I think it'd be pretty interesting to see what people think about this situation.